So this is going to be day 2, getting this big guy here used to the head halter. Boy. A big part of it is making sure that it is adjusted so it's loose enough that they can take treats and pant, especially in the summer heat if necessary. It's not supposed to be applying so much downward pressure that it's bothering them or bugging them. So we had to just make some adjustments there. Luckily, the ones that they got barely fits, because you had to kind of take from the collar part to extend the muzzle part. But it did work out, just barely, but it did work out. So after some fitment adjustment to make it a little bit looser, seems to be doing a lot better with it. We also just practice being inside with it on for treats and on and off. And also I have him on the freedom leash, and this is important because when they're getting used to that new pressure from the front, we want them to kind of have as much freedom as possible, and for us to be able to control when that pressure happens as much as possible. Just kind of like a slight boundary more than anything else. And I really want to try to encourage him to continue on focusing with me in the heel, right? So we don't even hit that pressure point too often. Okay? You just have to be mindful, because when you're on a freedom leash, you don't want him to be running off and building a lot of momentum and then having to snap. So really cutting him off early here, having him wait. Good boy. Yes. Good sit. I'm gonna let these guys go first. Here, good look. They're doing really well. They're a lot more responsive, which is good. And like I said, a big part of it, I wish I could loosen it up a little bit more so he can open his mouth more for panting, but we're almost at the very edge of it being able to fit around him right now. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit more if I can. Boy. Yeah, the main thing is we want to use the head halter as a deterrent and as a boundary line, and we want to use his focus as a way to guide him, right? We don't want to be pulling him everywhere we want him to go anymore, because that's just going to increase the agitation and make it even harder for him to get used to the pressure for longer. We only want him to feel pressure when he shouldn't be doing something, not just like telling him where to go and what to do. Good boy, good leave it. Good job. So whenever he returns to me is when he also gets a reward. Trying to work on that with the recall as much as possible, which, we've been able to do a little bit more today now that we've gotten things adjusted. And go with him here so he doesn't hit the end of the leash when he's trying to go to do the bathroom. That's the thing too. A lot of times with the shorter leash, you're gonna have to go with them because he likes to mark a lot, or he's just gonna be kind of shut down from being able to smell and explore and mark as often. It just kind of depends on the family dynamics and how long you have time for a walk. Because they're here with me, my day revolves around them, so we have all day for these kind of things. But I know back at home, a lot of times parents only have like maybe half an hour or less for a walk, because they have to make dinner or go to a soccer game for their kids or something like that. So in those cases, you'd want to just try to go as short distances as possible and save as much time for the return home. And I have to actually go and grab some bags too. Alright, at least it's not much, and it's solid now. But we're still gonna go and get some bags and come back. So here's what was going on a lot of times yesterday, right? It was just them pawing you, trying to get off with me. Boy. Yes. And so when he does that, I try to just redirect him back up to me, have it on for a while longer with the treat, and then reward him. We really want him to not be able to take it off when he wants it off, right? It would be a bad habit if it always bugged him that we kind of caved in and we gave him a break. So what I try to do is just give him a good reason to follow me and forget about it being on for a bit, and then just continuing on from there. And if we do feel the need to give him a break, having him refocus on us first, following us for a bit, maybe doing like a sit command or something else, and then taking it off for him. Like I said, the main concerns is just his ability to pant right now is definitely a little bit stifled. And that's their main way of cooling down this heat. Yeah. We'll try to adjust it some more. Like I said, it's pretty tight around his collar already. But we'll see if we can get any more space out of it. If not, I might have to recommend the parents buy like the next size up. Okay. It's a good opportunity to practice leave it or drop it, right? Gunther. Drop. Good boy. Come. It's always important when you're asking them to leave something, build some space in between you and that item, so that way after they've accomplished that task of listening to you, they don't just automatically reach back down for it, right? That temptation isn't still just right there for them. This has been a very good walk today and towards the back end of yesterday. Good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. I definitely would still have to recommend handling each sibling one at a time, especially in situations when you see a pup or something like that and they get excited. Luckily for these guys, there's plenty of stall time between them seeing somebody and then getting excited. They just kind of hold there for a bit, and that gives us plenty of opportunities to redirect them or ask if the other person wants to engage or do something, right? If we don't do anything in that amount of time, then they're going to fixate, then they're going to go and run towards the dog. It's really difficult to redirect. So it's really important to make things easier to just take care of things in advance and be very preemptive. If you see somebody and you know that they get along well with other pups, then let's go ahead and close the gap and let them meet, and then disengage and continue on with the walk. You want to try to stay out of that gray zone as much as possible, where they're not sure if they get to meet the dog or if they get to see the dog and not interact and things like that. If you're not able to, or you don't have time, or the other dog's owners are unsure or scared of the big ones, things like that, then it's a good time to just go ahead and turn around, disengage, have them follow you, which is pretty easy at this point, right? Before that timer comes up. Alright. Starting to get pretty warm back out again. Go ahead and let's see where we're at. 9 minutes. Cut it a little bit short because we're gonna go and pick up his poo back there anyways. Luckily it's looking a lot better now. He's had the runs forever since he's been here. Good boy. Hi. Good boy. Right, so when he's healing nicely like that and checking in on me, I want to go ahead and give him a reward. Gunther. Good boy. Good listen. Little things like that, but especially with name recognition, being consistent on your end, especially at first, right? If every time he hears his name, sometimes he gets a treat or sometimes he gets praise, it's going to mean that sometimes he's going to want to respond, okay? There's a big part of training and conditioning where consistency really, really matters right? If you're flaky, they're going to be flaky until you can actually get those good habits set into place, right? And then after those good habits are set into place, when they're consistently responding to the name call 110% of the time, that's when you can start to wean off of the rewards. Right? You don't stop paying a new employee after their first month of work. They have to be with the company for a few years to be okay with not being paid because of a problem with accounting. You too. And it's the same with pups, especially puppies. They have so many options of whether, good boy, there's slight leash pressure there. They have so many options whether to listen to us or to ignore us and continue on doing what they want to do. We really want to try to sway that opinion as much as possible, right, in our favor. Gunther. Oh, good boy. Good leave it. Right. And not being worried that he's interacting with things, but being aware that that item was still there from our practice before and being ready for it. Oh man. It's back to being brutally hot. Gunther, this way. Good boy. So you can see there, no leash pressure, right? Calling his name, practicing recall, rewarding appropriately, not annoying him with the head halter. And all those things is going to help him get used to the head halter that much faster. Gunther, wait. Right. Good boy. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Gunther, come on. Boy. So a little bit of pressure and release. It's really important now because this is on his face. We want to be extra careful because even though they were giants before, right, they're going to be more sensitive to things now, and this is going to be a good time. See, he frees it up. Gunther, come. Come. Yes, good boy, and then release pressure. Good boy. Come. Come. Yes, good boy. All right, so we apply pressure until he complies, and then when he complies, we release the pressure. Gunther, come. Try it with no pressure. Gunther, come. Low pressure. Release pressure. Yes, good boy. Right? I know from experience that pup doesn't always interact with other dogs, and he will start barking, which will make Gunther even more reactive, right? So right now we're having him just stay there. So we're gonna try to make some space. Gunther, this way. Come on. Good boy. There you go. Good list. Right? Do things with commands as opposed to with the leash, especially for bigger breeds. The more that you can get him to pay attention to you and listen to you and feel rewarded for it, the less you're going to have to be struggling trying to pull him around, right? Some leash pressure here, boundary. Gunther. Yes, release. Good boy. How you doing? Good job, big guy. Good boy. Much better. So he only messed with it once this time, which is really good. He was messing with it a lot more the other time. I would still gonna go back in and try to loosen it up for him, see if we can get any more space while still being able to fit it around his neck. But no, he's doing really well. Let's try again. Gunther. Oh, good listen. Good listen. Sit. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Alright, so Filibert's turn. He's still not as used to the head halter as his brother. Right, but we're still working on it. This will be a good way to kind of show you how we get him to adjust. Like I said, the main thing is not to just take it off when he wants it off, but trying to redirect him. Come on, bud, this way. Get him to focus on other things, right? Good boy. Filibert. Filibert. Good boy. Almost. There you go. Okay, so he still has room to take treats and pant, right? Even more so than his brother, because he's actually a little bit smaller. But it just bothers him having it on more. So we're going to need to redirect him a little bit more often. And it's good practice to see both sides of things, right? Everything else that we went over with Gunther still stays the same. You know, trying to keep the leash nice and loose. And the reason why I'm using the freedom leash. Trying to follow him where he wants to go for the walks, right? Letting him get distracted by things and mark things like that. Really want him to get used to having it on during his walks, and except for right now when we actually have to have a boundary. So we'll just press it, short press the lock on, there you go, the freedom leash once to let him know, give him some leash pressure. Leash pressure is going to be a lot more sensitive now too. You'll want to be aware of that. Don't have to do things with as much force now that all that force is on their muzzle. Filibert, hey bud. Good boy, come this way. Yes, good heel. Up here. Hey, look. Yes, good look. Sit. Yeah, he's doing a little bit better than yesterday, but he's still not where his brother is. I'm trying to loosen it up as much as possible, but sometimes if you loosen it up too much, then it'll just be able to slip right off, right? Which is something that we do not want, because if they learn that if they mess with it and it can come off, then that's what they're just gonna do the entire time, right? Instead of getting used to something that's on, they're just gonna concentrate on taking it off. Filibert. Oh, good boy. Good listen. There you go. You want to go that way? We can go that way. Come on. Let's go. This is your walk, big guy. Come on. Yeah, it's a good boy. There you go. I know. Oh, I know, big guy. And it's not tight at all. See? It's not tight at all. He's got plenty of space. He's just not used to having something on his face, or he doesn't like it. And also, you can give this also some less, a little bit less pressure too, but it's not by much either, right? So he's actually distracted by those people, which is good for him being out and about. And we'll probably do like social sessions with his head halter on. Really helps him because he's thinking about all those other things. Yeah, see what I mean by it just being a little bit too loose for him. He just wants to slip off. Good boy. I know, bud. You gotta have it on, bud. It's okay. Come on. Let's go. There you go. So I would tighten it up a little bit more, but he's already having issues adjusting already. So we want to try to keep it as loose as possible. Being out and about really helps because it gives him all these distractions, like the AC there starting up and him freaking out. When he thinks about all these other things, he's not thinking about this thing on his face, and that's what we want. We want him to just get used to having something on and being able to get distracted and think about the world instead again. Oh, good boy. Yeah, both him and his brother are doing much better. Well, he's always been pretty good. His brother needed a lot of work, but they're doing a lot better on the stool front. Good boy. Good potty. Good job, big guy. I know. There you go. Haven't had any accidents inside. Just stopped trying to mark my place, which is really good. Good progress overall. Let's see if he actually gets some distance and we can continue practicing some recall. He does a much better job of sticking close on this. I think too, like that little bit of tension is helping out a lot. It's okay, big guy. Before practicing recall, because we want him to feel rewarded right away, and go ahead and get a treat ready. That way when we do need to call him or redirect him with the leash pressure, we'll have a reward for him. Especially with these guys being such such puppies. We really want to try to make it so they feel as rewarded as possible whenever they listen to us, instead of just doing whatever they want. Hey, Filibert. 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 Oh, almost. Hold on. You get the treat after we put it back on. I know. There you go. That's a good boy. Yeah, I might have to... Don't want to, but might have to tighten his up a little bit more. They can't keep taking it off. Because eventually they'll pause to take it off, and then when it doesn't come off, they'll give up. There's another better lesson to learn too, but in the beginning, I would really try to make things as easy as possible for the pups to get used to having something on their face that's controlling them, right? It can definitely be very awkward if you think about it. So this is a good opportunity to practice some recall since he's so distracted. And we're out of treats. It's okay. Filibert. Good boy. Good listen. Yes. Good job, big guy. Lots of praise. Okay. Should re-up from the morning session. No. Good boy. Yes. There you go. Good job. It's okay, big guy. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to need to cut Filibert a little short still because I'm going to try to readjust and give him some more time to get comfortable with this, get him some more treats, and we'll do like another round or so. We're going to try to extend it a little bit. Let's go, and he's got a distraction here, which is perfect, right? And then we're going to go and throw away his poo, and then we'll go back in. So we're going to always try to extend the time as much as possible that they have to have this head halter on. So the more time that they have it on, the more likely they are to get used to it, right? Doesn't mean forcing it on even when they don't want it on and they're concentrating on that the whole time, right? But we want them to be concentrating on other things and forget that they have it on. Good boy. Yeah, you. I think mom definitely won't have too many problems now walking them. Today, it's Wednesday, got a couple more days to continue working with them. So got to do a video going over Gunther's counter surfing and down. And he's doing better with it. He's still much more prone to just jumping up because he can get to something higher. So I think a lot of it is going to be restricting his ability to get to anything higher, right? Good boy, yes. Make it so he doesn't even want to get up in the first place, at least for a while. And I'll go over all those things with his parents. Good boy. I know. Hey, Gunther, come on. Hey, Gunther, come on, up. There you go. So just applying some leash pressure and then releasing, getting him to go again. Don't want him to just stand there and keep taking it off. Good boy. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We ran out of treats. Went through a lot of treats with you guys. That's okay. Good boy. Yeah, they're both doing better than yesterday. Gunther's almost at 100%. Poor Filibert here is still not enjoying life with this thing on his face. And every dog is going to be different, right? That's why it's really important to take your time with these things. It really helps with leverage, that's for sure. He's not going to pull through it at all, but we don't want him to be uncomfortable when he doesn't have to be, right? We want him to just be uncomfortable when he needs to be uncomfortable. All right, good boy. I know I don't have a treat. That's it. Good boy, look. All right, good job, big guy. I know, I'll get you some more. Good job.